Hey everyone, welcome to the second installment of my reading Pop Kids by Davey Havok. Um, as you remember, last time we met the lead character, Score. His name is Score Massey, according to the back of the book. Um, but I guess he's also called Mike. I don't know. Um, I'm not really sure. I was distracted by all the pink and all the Hello Kitty and all the wet boobs and the texting and all the product placement. But anyway, okay. He just had a whole bunch of sex with this girl, and then she took a shower and didn't want him to shave her. So I'm gonna continue on from where I was. We're still in the summer section, and here goes. One of the few good things about having to live here is that most everything is close to everything else. I can get anywhere by board. Unfortunately, the foothill that leads to my house is too steep to skate. After cruising to the bottom of my street, I pop up my deck and start tromping uphill, not stromping. This is my favorite time to walk home, not simply because sundown minimizes the tanning threat, but because the cats are out. I most enjoy running into Iman, a beautiful green-eyed Burmese who lives with our downhill neighbors. Her owners call her Blackie, but this bland moniker embarrasses her, so I've renamed her. When she weaves around her wooden mailbox post, I stop to say hello, then, snapping twigs beneath my feet, finish my off-road climb. From the bottom of our driveway, I can see Gina through the dusk's reflection of our empty street stirring her pot of marinara. Her spacious kitchen is one of the many benefits of having moved out of Brooklyn, though this vast Californian cooking arena does nothing to assuage my feelings of displacement. I was only 13, yet well accustomed to the many perks of city living, when Uncle Cosmo offered my dad the opportunity to help run one of his boutique wineries. Frank was always talking about how fun it would be to farm, to suffer dirty nails and sunburn instead of pigeons and paper cuts, and how nice it would be to get the kids out of the city. Gina, too, frequently voiced other such unimaginable rural sympathizing fantasies. So when the offer came for farm livin', we packed away all modern comforts and overcame the masses. Massize? I don't know. The move was complete culture shock for my brother and me. Throughout the first month of living here, Joey would inexplicably burst into tears, sometimes cryptically uttering nonsense like One Oak Avenue, IF, Butter, and Barney's in between sobs. Eventually the fits did stop, and not long after he ended his misery entirely. I miss him terribly, but I've managed to cope. I've got a few great friends, one desktop, 2 laptops, and a high-speed wireless connection that helps me get through. So, let me cut in here for a second. Joey. Who's Joey? I don't remember her. I don't think he ever went into who Joey was. But what I'm taking away from this is that Joey killed himself because they didn't live in Brooklyn anymore. Okay. When I walk into our house, the smell of Gina's cooking hits me, and I thank Moz for giving me a mother who cooks so well in a town deprived of delivery. I reflexively hum, inhaling oregano on my way from the bedroom to the shower. Leaving her simmering pot, Gina follows me. Are you staying for dinner tonight? She asks, standing outside of the bathroom. Folding my damp shirt, I twist on the hot water and call through the closed door. You didn't put the meatballs in the sauce, did you, Mom? I did that once, Michael, once. You've only been a vegetarian for a month. It's not going to kill you to be in the same room with a meatball. I'm going to cut in here again and point out that it probably would kill Davey Havok to be in the same room as a meatball. I've actually been vegetarian for a year, practically. And in a sausage and peppers family like the Masseys, okay, that's their last name, Masseys. That makes sense. I cannot be too careful. Being Italian involves facing many monstrous traditions, from carnivorous holiday meals to the even bloodier Sunday morning Mass. I was raised Catholic. My parents were raised Catholic. However, years of education and a coup within our old Catholic Church encouraged my folks to stray from the path of the religiously insane. Back when I was a tempting young lad forced into altar servitude, the Mother Superior of our parish discovered that Father O'Holland was touching little boys during his time off from embezzling thousands of dollars. When the Mother Superior brought this to the attention of the bishop, he told her he'd take care of the offender. This he did by allowing the molester-priest to carry on with his private boy-love party in return for giving the bishop all of the stolen donations and occasional oral joy. I should point out that oral joy is capitalized, both words, so I guess that's a thing. In the end, this meant that I didn't have to go to church anymore. If there is a God, he clearly sucks. Yet for some reason, I still have to say grace. I wondered how many pages in it would be before Davey Havok started going off on religion, and it's 19. Like a prayer, Gina recites some archaic First Testament wisdom regarding the animal's servile place on earth. I explain that were I to consume even meat juices, I'd surely throw up. Oh, and could you please not put the parm in the sauce tonight? I step into the inch of searing water rippling at the bottom of the tub. I'm trying to eat vegan. Just this morning, you were asking me where you could order cannoli online. I'm getting in the shower now. We're Italian. Walking away, she shouts, we eat cheese. Squirting a large, shimmery orange glob of soap onto my black loofah, I start soaping away the smell of sex. To my dismay, I'm only able to swap the cotton candy-scented memories of Sarah with the fresh fragrance of creamsicle body wash for mere minutes before Gina pokes her head through the door. Before Gina pokes her head through door. I guess poking your head through door is like leaning your skateboard up against wall. A dagger of cold air cuts through the plastic curtain. Dinner is almost ready. You've been in there for almost an hour. I'll be out in 10. I found your lighter in your jeans while I was doing the wash again, she scolds. I don't see why you carry that thing around all the time. Fearing that she might smell Sarah going down the drain, I promise for the 1,000,001th time, I don't smoke, Mom. You'd better not. I don't. I abhor it. Are you staying out again tonight? Yeah, I say, happy to be off the tired topic. Xbox party. Once school starts, less video games. I'm sure Zach's parents are plenty happy living with their own 2 sons. They don't need you moving in. Shutting the door, she finally allows me to deep condition in peace. In my room, with Portishead typed into my last FM, I'm buttoning up a crisp black Topman dress shirt. Eddie, my Havana brown, jumps upon my desk to inspect the moth that's flown in from Frank's herb garden. Drawn to my tube-top floor lamp, it softly thuds against my window. Eddie's fascinated with moths. I like them too. I have a few. I guess that's relevant to the plot somehow. Maybe he's like, Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs with his moths. Hey girl, how's this look? Should I go more casual? Zach's face startles Eddie as it buzzes my phone to life. I grab it from the charger. Dude, where are you? He asks. I read the name of the song on the radio. Eddie returns to batting the glass. I'm home. I begin pacing to my brother's room. I'm going to eat, then come down. Awesome. Bring leftovers, he demands. How are the activities? Fabulous, but we'll discuss later. I lower my voice, inhaling Gina's sauce as the lights of the Audi Q7, sweep the front hallway. Mom's got spaghetti on the table. The front door clicks. There are footsteps. Frank greets my cat. Hey, chocolate chip. I gotta go, man. Dad's home and insulting Eddie. I'll see you soon. Hanging up, I swipe a Massive Attack CD from Joey's collection, toss it into my room, and arrive at the table just as I'm called for the 3rd time. Hey, Dad. Nervously, I ting my butter knife against my empty glass. I'm slightly paranoid that my folks might sense my glowing post-coital state. though I've become quite good at allowing them to see only what I want them to. Trying to mask my feelings, I sit with Frank, feeling that my overwhelming despair must be obvious. What? But he's... Okay. But he just said he was glowing in his post-coital state. Now he's overwhelmingly despair... I don't know. Hey, Mike. He tips his business hat. What's happening? Nothing, just starving. Ting, ting, ting. Gina fills a serving dish with pounds of pasta. Ting, ting. Frank can tell that I'm squirming. He knows what's consuming me. It's madness. Knowingly, he smiles. Is there something wrong, Mike? I can take it no longer. Dad, I point with my utensil, you know that it's not only rude to eat at the table with a hat on, but it's even ruder to embarrass your entire family by wearing that hat under any circumstances. Gina places the beautiful steaming bowl next to the basket of warm bread and sits down at the table. Frank, having gotten the confession that he wanted, jovially offers me his straw hat. Well, Mike, someone's got to wear the crown. It's either you or me, son. Politely declining the kingdom, I bat the woven atrocity away from my freshly styled hair. Returning the ugly accessory to its unnatural position, he takes my hand, then Gina's, and we all bow our heads to thank Maz for our food. And thus ends that chapter. Okay, so I was just looking over this book, and I noticed that I think there's some kind of printing error with the chapters, because I've reached page 22, and I skipped forward to page 35, and it said it starts chapter 6, but all of these other chapters have no numbers on top of them, so I'm going to assume that this is, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I'm about to start chapter 3, so I will title the videos, this one will be, I guess, chapter 2 and chapter 3, or, 2, 3, and 4, depending on how long they are. So, alright, chapter 3. By the time I've reached the flats and begun weaving between the yellow dashes that divide Vine Street, it's just past 10 o'clock. The tiny bit of town traffic has dwindled to nothing. With leftovers slung over my back in last year's pink, brown, and cream plaid Jansport, I skate unseen, cutting in and out of the white halos cast by streetlights. My board starts to rumble when half a block ahead I see a white light. It's floating above the sidewalk. Alone, waiting for me in front of the empty WAMU building. Sitting on the chipped curb, Zach is texting. His home-bleached hair can't decide which direction to dive. It's like a depressed sea anemone. Hey man, can you order some conditioner on the Amex? I'm running out, and I think it would do us both some good. Rolling up to the curb, I drop my bag and extract the soggy, chewed-up fruit pop stick from his teeth. I toss the wood in a nearby trash can. A ping resounds in the emptiness. Dude, you've got to be kidding me. Dejected, he looks up from words with friends. A tie? What? I ask, before realizing that he's probably just worried for the safety of my outfit. I can't blame him. The possibility of it getting dirty during our exploration crossed my mind, but when I decided to look sharp, I resolved to be extremely careful. Oh, never mind. Chuckling with a strange look of realization, he points, I thought you might be freaking out over fucking up your clothes in there, but I realize that now. Oh, but I recognize that now. Sorry. You recognize McQueen? I'm shocked that my friend is versed in high British design. He always makes fun of me for dedicating an hour a night to Perez's fashion blog. I loosen my knot. What? I'm talking about that tie. It's part of the costume from that play you were in, right? Is that skull painted on with white out? Standing over him, I smooth my silky accessory. It is white out, but it's not a costume. Crimes of the heart, I remind him. How good was I in that? I'm going to break in here and point out that Davey Havok missed an opportunity to use the term silky accessory to describe Score Mike's, or whatever his name is, penis. because Anyway, my portrayal of Barnett Lloyd got a great review in the Valley View High newspaper. The writer said my southern accent was completely believable, an accolade that will pale compared to the press I'm going to get after I star in this year's musical. Sitting down on the curb, picturing what I'll wear in the photo shoot for the school paper's local celebrity piece, I unzip my backpack and pull out the leftovers. I still think that you're a little overdressed, man. Again, no comma. So, it could either be that he thinks he's a little overdressed, or that Mike believes that he is a little overdressed man. I like to believe that he thinks he's a little overdressed man. Like a wild, ravenous herbivore starved for tomato sauce, Zach snatches the warm Ziploc bag from my hands. I recognize that we're not spending a night out dancing at a San Francisco art gallery with the girls, but the Palace was once a nice hotel. Handing him a plastic fork, I explain, my attire is donned out of respect to its history. Then, with an only slightly exaggerated tinge of offense, I tighten my half-Windsor. And this was Joey's tie. Zach gives a carb-muffled apology and, in a spatter of marinara, indiscernibly compliments my beloved older brother, who has left me here to brave this town alone. There we go. There's our explanation. So it was his older brother, and he killed himself because he didn't have, the cool shit that Brooklyn has, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, excuse me. It's fine. He's in a better place now. Joseph fled Valley View with a 5.0 GPA, although he was a well-rounded individual, as dedicated to his training as he was to school. If he wasn't on a crying jag, studying, online shopping, social networking, or teaching me the ways of the civilized world, he was training. He was my inspiration, my mentor, and my closest friend just before graduation. And then, just before graduation, he left me. He left us all and ran away to join the circus. Swallowing, Zach grins and asks, when do we get to go visit him again? For Christ's sakes, I thought he died. Okay, never mind. Last summer, we spent a whole week in Vegas with Joey. So I guess he went to Vegas and didn't kill himself. Which is good, because killing yourself over not living in Brooklyn is stupid. Welcome to the Jungle is playing as we take the elevator down from our suite to stand on the perimeter of the gaming tables where we meet our driver. He shows us to our Escalade. We drink chilled Pellegrino while explaining that we don't go to college, as he drives us off to far off to the glowing strip. When we pull up behind the club, Guy is waiting to sneak us through the back door. He tells us we could get in a lot of trouble for letting in two 16-year-olds, but he loves Joey. Everyone does. Sitting in the VIP with our hearts pounding up against interchanging pairs of perfectly wrapped cinnamon-scented silicone bags, Zach and I learn truths. Most of these girls aren't strippers at all. They're hairdressers. And watching your friend disappear under two naked beauticians can be profoundly spiritual. I'm sure the hairdressers miss us. Maybe we should go back again next summer, right after graduation, before Hollywood is constantly demanding my presence. Man, that would be awesome. I so can't wait to get out of here. Neither can I. We have just over 2 weeks of summer left, and though I'm dreading it, knowing that it will be the beginning of my last days in town makes me look forward to getting senior year started and over with. I will be applying for Escape by way of colleges in LA, OC, Santa Barbara, and maybe San Francisco. I'm not that interested in Northern California schools. Cities up here don't offer as many possibilities for glamorous lifestyle, but in the end, it doesn't really matter where I am, as long as I'm somewhere else and doing something fabulous. One more year, man, I declare, eyeing the soon-to-be sauce stains on Zach's olive coat. Then, we're gone. Chapter 4. The palace was abandoned in the 40s and has been awaiting our inhabitants ever since. Tonight, the towering hotel of both former and future excellence is playing coy. Walking toward it, I can see that it's not going to let us penetrate its internal wonders without some coercion. I ask Zach how he plans on getting us through the thick layers of protective planks bolted across the front door. Don't worry, man. We're not going in that way. He leads us around the side of the building. Across from Crystallize, the marginalized incense and tarot reading room, we march to the sidewalk alongside the looming hotel. Inspecting the seemingly impervious structure, I start to fear Zach's plan of entry. There are no doors, no windows, just ivy-covered walls. Clicking my Zippo, I look up toward the second story at the dark outline of a fire escape that looks to be about 10,000 feet above us, and begin to question my decision to stay in town. Click, click. In a situation like this, the simple cold feel and sharp sound of my lighter can comfort me. Click, click. There doesn't necessarily need to be more. A smoking hot girl with an unlit cigarette. A need for a flame. Not always. Click, click. Check it out. Brushing away dead leaves, Zach reveals a monument hidden in an alcove on the ground. I read the engraved inscription in awe. To the ladies of the night that plied their trade upon this site. Yeah, when the hotel opened, this was the spot where all the hookers would hang. I guess they'd turn tricks in the hotel. Wow, I already love this place. A monster truck cop car wrapped in Walmart logos rumbles by on the distant cross street, spewing exhaust into the night. Though slightly apprehensive, I'm committed to getting into the palace. I was starting to have misgivings about the breaking and entering, the possibility of ghosts, spiders, and rats, and the risk of ruining my shirt. But this little concrete tribute makes me feel like we're about to enter a sacred place, like we're being watched over by hooker angels. I look back up toward the shadowy vines reaching off the walls and clinging to the skeletal ironworks. You don't think I'm going up there, do you? I mean, maybe you've confused me with my brother. I'm not that circusy. Maybe if you go up first. Mike, Zach insists in a voice inappropriately loud for illegal moments such as these. Settle. Grabbing 2 waxy handfuls of foliage, he pulls toward us. An old plank of plywood separates us from the wall to create a gaping, ivy-laced mouth. The secret entry to our glorious future moans. A gush of air chills my face. It smells like a trunk filled with vintage Smith's teas. I look into the void. I'm totally impressed. I guess I would be totally impressed too if I knew what a trunk filled with vintage Smith's teas is. I can't believe you didn't say abracadabra before you did that. Dropping the crushed leaves, Zach reaches into his pocket and hands me a mini mag. I hand it back. He shows me how to turn it and then reopens the dirty green mouth. Like a snazzy, uncertain suicide on a ledge, I inch my way into the new shadows. You're going to have to hold it a little wider, man. I don't want to get leaf stains. We're in. The mouth door whomps shut behind us. It's dark, and it's creepy. I breathe in the cool, antique air. I can taste the ghosts. Creating our own silent rave, Zach and I dance our frantic lights across the walls to inspect the room and to make sure that no specters have materialized to welcome us. I see none. The lounge in which the valley's finest travelers once relaxed, read, and retained the services of prostitutes is now empty. There are no socialites, no solicitors, no ghosts. Just barren hardwood floors and cracked plaster walls adjoining in a low archway that leads to the rest of the rooms on the ground floor. Just wiring from a chandelier, long ago removed, spidering out of a hole in the ceiling. Just dust. Just us. This is totally killer. Zach shines his light in my face. Yeah, and totally creepy. I double-check for poltergeists. I hope it's not haunted. Zach grins and bolts. As I chase after him, the Dead Boys logo that's scrawled in Sharpie across the back of his jacket does nothing to comfort me. No, I cry, no running. It's too dark. These stairs don't have any railings, man. With Zach cackling like the Blair Witch and my heart beating in my head, I'm certain that we're going to die. He disappears over the last stair that's somewhere down the musty hallway. Then somewhere down the musty hallway, his footfalls abruptly halt. When I catch up to him, we stand together, panting in the doorless chipped frame. I unbutton my stifling top button. The glow of the streetlights assists our mini-mags in their illumination of room 217. 4 walls, a bathroom, and a walk-in closet. Its peeling floral wallpaper is covered in battle cries, band logos, and bad art. In hot pink, "Comfortably Numb" has been sprayed large enough to unify two walls with its proclamation of detachment. The barren wood floor is littered with beer bottles, lighters, empty Dorito bags, zigzag boxes, and Coke cans, come ashtrays. Although it's empty, it's claustrophobic, and it smells like a head shop. This must be it. This is where those surfers used to hang out. Zach illuminates the ratty sleeping bag stuffed in the corner. They must have slept in here. I'm amazed. Even if it weren't totally disgusting, I'd never sleep in this room. It's too creepy. What's their deal again? Smelling stale weed, I wonder about the type of people who would purposefully crash anywhere that neither provides running water nor room service. I guess some of them lived here years ago, but they're all on the coast now. Zach stomps a can. Dustin met them, surfing. When he told them that he goes to Valley View, they told him about this place. I think he wants to touch the one named Star. She's the one with the house. Excuse me. She's like a woman. They're all in their 20s. I can relate. I lost my virginity to an older woman. When I was 12, Lizzie, my 20-year-old babysitter, moved from Essex to attend NYU and proved to me that boys aren't always stronger than girls. In our wrestling match, she pinned me down, kissed me, unbuttoned her blouse, and did it to me on my parents' Eames corner couch to the sound of the Smiths. Man, I remember the first time a girl did it to me. That was pretty cool. I don't think the Smiths were playing, though. But she totally did it to me. Anyway, it was a beautifully surreal experience that has forever changed me. Since that night, I've only listened to UK bands. Fabulous, I say, challenging Zach with a beam of light, but are there supposed to be bigger rooms somewhere? I don't think these empty cupboards are sufficient enough for our party needs, my friend. I know, I just wanted to find their old room. His hair turns blue in my mini-mag's light as he squints, remembering why it is we've been tempting ghosts, risking life, limb, arrest, and outfits. It's downstairs. Follow me. Illuminating our steps, we descend through the aged parlor and down to the basement. Zach steps out of the deep stairwell. He grasps the ornate deco handles of the double doors in front of us. Nobody proofread this book. God. They gasp as they part, and our blue mags shine into the vast empty space. To the right, at the far end of the expansive floor, a semicircle of 6 shallow gilded steps gradually climb to meet a stage framed with heavy crimson velvet curtains. In a world before Top Chef, this must have been some sort of high-class supper club. We cross the ballroom, past the tiers where servers doted on fancy diners, slightly bouncing from the creaking coils beneath the giving boards. On stage, I shine my flashlight toward the treacherous catwalks. My lighter's bright chirp sings to me from the rafters. Click, 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 click. A dangling sandbag begins to descend. A pulley squeaks. I watch the curtains unfold. They meet, sway, and then part. I turn to run upstage into the open arms of the beautiful white wall. It's huge. I glide my palm against its cool, smooth, bare surface. I caress it. Then clap the invasive dust from my hands. Aside from needing a cleaning, this is perfect. This is all perfect. Zach! Speed pacing downstage, I point back at the wonderful canvas as he releases his tattered rope. This is it. We could totally do the premieres down here. We could use that wall for the screen. I have my brother to thank for this idea. Before Joey ran away to join Cirque, he flew to L.A. Down there, he worked for a party promoter. Before meeting him, I'd never known that throwing parties could be a profession. When I'd visit, Joey would take me to all sorts of fabulous events. One was a party at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, wherein hundreds of highly fashionable, very attractive kids come and lay blankets on the grass to watch films with the dead stars. There, I saw The Hunger projected onto the glowing mausoleum, while surrounded by hot girls who looked like hairdressers, well-dressed guys who looked like hairdressers, and Jane Mansfield resting but a few feet behind me. Though everyone was smoking and had bottles of red wine, I forgave these horrid imperfections in light of a greater good time. One girl, who drank straight from her mini bottle of champagne, had a white kitten with her. She let me hold Moki through the Peter Murphy scene. I don't remember the girl's name, but I still miss them both. Mike, Zach, pacing through the unsettled dust, shines his blue light against the wall. The kid was right. This place will totally rule. It's fucking dark down here, but I suppose that's ideal. I'll run some lights. We'll need a generator. You can get the old midnight movie projector, right? I can get it. I pet our wall screen. We're doing this, seriously. He palms a dirty Mento into his mouth. Let's go back to my place and discuss over some sand pea. Fabulous. Dusting my hands on his jacket, dizzied by the prospect of finally taking my first step toward party salvation, I say, dibs on Dustin's shower. End of chapter 4.